the core set and join the game Discord. Scouring the internet for the packs I can't afford. But now I'm getting worried cause I see it everywhere. The game is dying, they all cry, now I'm a little scared. What the hell, I just bought this game. Now you're telling me it's dead, that's really lame. What do I do with all these cards? Maybe sell them at a sale in my yard. It looked like it might be something fun to play. Saw it on the shelf and brought it home that day. Opened the box, beat a rhino and was hooked. Now it might be dead and
Alright, hey everybody, it's Wasteland Sniper. I am ready to go, I guess. You notice I have a very large card here. It was something I picked up a couple years ago at Con of Heroes. One of the guys there was handing them out and was just letting people choose different heroes. I happen to really like Deadpool, so I picked Deadpool. So I'm going to use this very large card instead of the normal size Deadpool card. I guess, let's see. So we are doing a leadership Deadpool deck, which I don't think I've ever played before. I have not tested this deck at all. And we're going up against Apocalypse. I know we did an Apocalypse one last time, but that was the Ansabanor scenario, which is the 5th scenario in Age of Apocalypse. This is actually I believe the 3rd scenario in Age of Apocalypse, right before Dark Beast. I haven't played this in forever, so pardon any mistakes that I make. But I thought that this one would be a fun one to go up against, just because, again, it's a mutant scenario and I'm playing Deadpool, so why not be a little thematic? But also, like I said, it's one that I haven't really played very much, and it's been a really long time since the last time I did play it, and I just kind of wanted to see if this deck that I put together can actually deal with all the threat that I'm going to have to deal with, and then along with the damage I'm going to have to do, because this particular scenario has these elite prelate minions that come out randomly. You don't get to pick which one comes out. You're just supposed to randomly draw it based off of these side schemes that keep coming into play. And so at the beginning of the scenario, we're supposed to be randomly choose one. So I'm going to use a D10 since there's 5 of them. So this will be 1, 2, and this will be 9, 10. So just kind of like that along the way. But before we pick that, I kind of want to talk about the deck just a little bit. So again, it is a leadership deck, which is usually fairly minion or ally heavy. Minion. I'm starting to do what Andre does on Crash Space, where he mixes up minions and allies. But no, leadership tends to be fairly ally heavy. This is, I've only got 9, well technically 10 allies in this deck if you include his signature ally, which I don't have out here because I mostly wanted to talk about kind of what I'm doing with this deck. So I've got 3 X-Force traded heroes here. Fantomex is special because whenever he comes into play, you search for this EVA support and put that into play, and if he leaves play, then the EVA support leaves play. Fantomex doesn't generally have a very good reputation. He's a 4-cost ally, he thwarts for 1, he attacks for 1, he takes 1 consequential damage for both, and he only has 3 hit points. That's absolutely terrible. Like, just the numbers on that, I'm not a numbers person when it comes to this game. I play more kind of by the seat of my pants, but anyway, I like those numbers. Even I know those numbers are not good. But the thing is with EVA, you can choose, when you exhaust EVA, you can choose to either remove a threat from a scheme, deal a damage to an enemy, or heal a damage from Fantomex. So Fantomex is really kind of meant to be, what's the term? Oh, it just left my mind. Anyway, he's meant to have, he's meant to be built up, basically. He's meant to have a lot of upgrades attached to him to beef up his stats, and then EVA is just there to basically keep healing him as he does things. So, like, I always liked the idea of Fantomex, but I haven't played with him in a deck in a really long time. Voltron, that's the word I was looking for. He's basically a prime candidate for being Voltroned. But I'm not a huge fan of leadership. I don't really like to do a whole lot with allies if I can help it. I've really kind of gotten away from putting tons of allies into a deck. And especially with more recent... If you can hear the slamming and the scrambling around, I apologize. That would be my cat Aries, who's decided that he's going to get the zoomies right now. So he's going in and out of my cupboards and running around. I'm sorry. And I'm sure that Apollo will be joining him in any moment. Yep, Apollo's looking at me like, yep, that's exactly what I'm going to do. So you're probably going to hear both of them. I apologize. Anyway, so yeah, I really kind of wanted to see if I could get Fantomex to work with EVA. All of the allies that I have chosen to go in this deck have a, like, when it enters play or when you play it from your hand type of effect. I also included Mutant Mayhem. These allies over here are all X-Men. Some of them, I think, can only be played... No, maybe not. Nope, they can all be played even if you're not X-Men traded, but some of them only have effects that work with other X-Men, which is where this card comes into play. Children of the Atom. Oops. So basically, Children of the Atom makes every X-Factor, X-Force, and X-Men character that I control gain the X-Factor, X-Force, and X-Men traits, which is fantastic. I just realized I should probably have put a copy of X-Force Recruit in here, since when he's on his alter ego side, he's not X-Force traded. On his hero side, he is X-Force traded, but on his this side, he's not X-Force traded, which will actually turn off Uncanny X-Force anytime he has to jump back down into alter ego. But that's okay. Mistakes were made. I guess I'll figure it out as we go. Yeah, I can't use the X-Men trainee one because he's not X-Men. You can only play... It's funny, those cards that give, like, honorary X-Men, or, honorary Avenger, honorary Guardian, like, you can only play those if you already have that specific trait, and then... Which seems kind of silly, but then, when you flip down, you still have the trait because that card is still out. Where with most of, I'd say with most of the heroes, you don't keep those particular traits when you jump down. I think Shield is probably one of the only traits that kind of will tend to follow you as you flip down to alter ego. Probably because so many of the heroes themselves are already Shield traded when they're in alter ego. I don't know, like I don't really understand all the design space behind that, but or why they chose to do things that particular way, but there it is. Anyway, back to the deck. So Mutant Mayhem is a 3-cost event, and it's an alliance card, so if I was playing with somebody else, they could help me pay for it, but it's a hero action. Choose an X-Force ally and an X-Men ally and return them to their owner's hands. Those players play those allies ignoring their resource costs. This card is the reason that all of my allies, except for his signature ally, have when enters play or when played from hand effects. Because then you can keep using their effects over and over again. And so I wanted to see if I could make that work while also using my allies to basically deal with the threat while Deadpool is dealing most of the damage. If I have to, I do have Yoo-Hoo in his deck, which is his, his one of his hero cards. That's his thwarting event. So if I do have to use that, that is available as well. But I'm going to try to make sure that my allies are doing most of the thwarting. That's kind of the whole idea behind this deck. And Uncanny X-Force, I mean, it's... if each of your characters has the X-Force trait, each ally you control gets +1 thwart and takes -1 consequential damage after thwarting a side scheme. So this is a side scheme, this is a side scheme. This will flip over to a different side scheme, which will then leave play after it's defeated and bring in another side scheme. And then that will be the last side scheme before we get this attachment that would go on Apocalypse, and then at that point, when Apocalypse is defeated, then he's actually defeated and we've won the game. Up until that point, I can be constantly taking out Apocalypse. As you can see, his health is really low. He's only got 8 hit points on this side. But every time we take him out, we do get to remove, remove threat from this scheme, X threat. So in this case, X is the numeral in Apocalypse's printed hit point value, so 8. So right now, if this goes up to 8, this would pop, and then Apocalypse would flip over to stage 2. Normally, you want to go up in stage, like you've defeated the villain, stage 1, stage 2 if you're playing on Expert, we're playing on Standard, so we're starting with stage 1. Normally, you want to defeat stage 1 and then go to stage 2. In this case, you do not want to go up to the different stages. He will go up to stage 4 eventually, and I think by that point, if he's getting up that high, you've probably lost the game. So we definitely don't want that to happen. So I want to make sure that this is all kept under control. Gene pool, I want to get cleared off as soon as possible, because this will actually add, the more threat that there is on here, is if there's at least 3 or more threat on here, it causes the minions within this particular, the set that goes with this, to do different things. If you have like 3 threat on here, then the infinites gain, I think they gain Surge. If you have 6 threat, then they gain something else, I forget exactly what it is, and then 9 threat, they gain something else. And you would think, oh, 9 threat, that's how would it even get up there? Trust me, this thing can gain threat super fast, especially if you're using allies as chump blockers, which is, we're going to try very hard not to do with any of these. And the good thing with Deadpool is that on his hero side, unless his text box is blanked, he can't die. Because he's got this Regenerate and Degenerate ability, which is a force interrupt when you would be defeated. Instead, set your hit point dial to 1, change to alter ego form, and add 1 acceleration token to the main scheme. That in itself is kind of bad, and you don't want to keep adding too many acceleration tokens here, because that just makes the threat go up super fast every turn. And that can get difficult to deal with after a while. But he does have a lot of cards that kind of play off of how many acceleration tokens, not icons. Like, this is an acceleration icon. This does not count for the purposes of his cards that go off of the tokens. Only the tokens count. So you have to be kind of careful. He's a little bit like Star-Lord in that way, where you really have to figure out exactly how you're gonna play, like how early you're gonna lean into his mechanic of putting those tokens on the main scheme, and how hard you're gonna lean into it. It's been a while since I played Deadpool, so we'll see. We'll see how I do with this. But yeah, Deadpool is one of those heroes that I've really enjoyed. Oh, and another thing about this deck is that if you've ever watched other people play Deadpool, almost guaranteed they usually have... He needs his own The Trainee t-shirt for the movie memes. Oh yeah, that would be hilarious. That would be funny. But, anyway, so most of the time when you see people play a Deadpool deck, they're trying to jump his hit points up really high because of, let's see, there's 2 specific cards in here that really reward that. Maximum Effort, which is take any amount of damage up to your remaining hit points and deal an equal amount of damage to an enemy. And then this card is Fire, which is deal X damage to an enemy, X is the amount of damage you have sustained. Right now he only has 9 hit points, as you can see on the screen. But if you put, say, Endurance on him, you give him another 3 hit points, so that jumps him to 12. And then if you add the Symbiote Suit, I believe that adds another 10, so it puts him at like 22. And now, you know, they've also got the new conditioning upgrades that you can get in Justice, Protection, and Aggression that will give him an extra 3 hit points on top of that, so you could get him up to 25. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Oh, if you give him honorary X-Men or X-Force Trainee or whatever the X-Force one is called. X-Force Recruit, I think it is. That's another hit point. So yeah, like, the general idea of most Deadpool decks that I've ever seen played is pretty much to jump his hit points up so high that you can basically one-shot the villain. And a lot of people don't like Deadpool because that's the accepted way to play Deadpool. And as you can imagine, like, the first couple of times you do that, it feels awesome, and then it gets really boring. And so that's the kind of gameplay that I've generally stayed away from with Deadpool. I don't think I've ever actually played a game with him with the Symbiote Suit. Because I'd like to explore different deck builds and try different things and see what I can get out of him. Oh, Ares. I don't even know what he's doing. He's like pouncing on something. I can't tell what it is. Anyway, yeah, so that's the deck. So let's get this shuffled up, and then we will use my D10 die to figure out which of these prelate minions is going to come into play and sit in front of me at the beginning. I cannot remove threat from here until whatever prelate minion I end up with is gone. And then as soon as this flips, I have to get another prelate minion. So this could get really interesting depending on which prelate minion I get. So far, I don't know which one would actually be the worst. I didn't really look at what they do. They all have toughness and victory 3. Mr. Sinister is the only one who has retaliate and villainous. Rasputin has when Mikhail Rasputin attacks you, deal 1 damage to your identity. So he'll attack you for 2, and then he's functionally attacking you for 3 because he'll do another damage. Sugarman has when Sugarman attacks, this attack gains piercing. If this attack defeats a character, heal 5 damage from Sugarman. Yeah, that sounds pretty bad. Abyss, he gets +2 hit points for each face down card attached to him and engages the first player. Okay. After Abyss activates against you, attach the top card of your deck to him face down. That sounds bad. So if we end up with him, we'll want to see if we can take him out as quickly as possible. The Shadow King. After the Shadow King attacks you, choose an ally you control with the highest thwart. Either discard that ally or place threat on the main scheme equal to its thwart. So that could go bad. And then Mr. Sinister, he doesn't have any extra things. He just has that retaliate and villainous, which I guess offsets any forced interrupts or responses that he could have. So, alright, I think I'm pretty much shuffled up here. Put that there. I did also, because he's got a card that actually allows you to look in your collection for another weapon. So I did grab a couple of weapons that I thought I might use in his deck, Sonic Rifle or Stun Gun. So those are here just on the off chance that I want to use them. For the moment, let's pick one of these. Again, this is going to be 1, 2, 9, 10. We got a 3, so it's Sugarman. So when Sugarman attacks, this attack gains piercing. If it defeats a character, heal 5 damage from Sugarman. So that's not actually terrible. We definitely could have gotten worse. So we'll put that there. We'll bring this over here. Alright, we'll put the D10 out of the way. And let's draw up, so let's see. I just want to make sure that I haven't missed anything for setup. Nope. Nope. Okay. So we're good. So now we're going to draw. Alright, we got Mutant Mayhem, that's not going to be useful. Caliban is actually good. Beast. Oh, Beast would be nice. We got a maximum effort. Another Mutant Mayhem. So that's 5. We get 6, and this card is fire. Alright. So we don't need this card as fire. I would like to keep maximum effort just because that will take out Sugarman. I'm not going to keep either of the Mutant Mayhems. As much as I would like Beast. Ooh. I kind of think Caliban's the better play right now because he costs 1 less. And then when Caliban enters play, you discard cards from the top of your deck until an X Factor, X Force, or X-Men ally is discarded, and then add that ally to your hand. So he'll help me go through the deck a little bit faster, and I think I'm going to go with that. Alright, so I'm going to keep these 2, get rid of these 4, draw 4 more. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Oh, I drew 2 Digging Deeps. You never want to see these in your hand. They just, you want these to come up, like, the entire, part of the reason I put these in the deck is because of Caliban's discard thing, because when you discard Digging Deep from the top of your deck, you get to add it to your hand. So, that's unfortunate that those actually came up in my hand. Alright. Well, I guess I'll use a Digging Deep and a Strength to play Caliban. And so now we discard until we get an X Factor, X Force, or X-Men ally. Oh, there goes my chimichanga truck. Not great. There goes Eva, Yoo-hoo. Alright, there's Triage. Triage isn't going to be much use right now, but eventually she'll be very useful. Part of the reason she's in here is when I get Children of the Atom out, she can heal Fantomex, and so then I can use EVA to take even more threat off of the schemes, instead of using it to keep Fantomex healed. Alright, so I have 4... I mean, I could use Triage as just like cheap thwart, and then she's back in the discard pile, so that's not terrible. Caliban's more of an attacker. We're gonna flip up to Deadpool. Then I'm gonna take 5 damage. So we'll go down to 4, and I'll play Maximum Effort. What is this on my card? Okay. So take any amount of damage up to your remaining hit points, deal an equal amount of damage to an enemy. So we'll deal 5 damage to Sugarman. Oh crap. Where is my... I forgot, he's tough. So before I do that, I'm gonna attack with Deadpool. No, I'll attack with Caliban. So Caliban will take off the tough. Then we'll do Maximum Effort, and then that will take out Sugarman. So he's gone. I don't want to bring out another Prelate minion just yet, so I'm not going to clear this off. But I am going to use Deadpool to clear Gene Pool down to 2. And then I'll use Digging Deep and M to play Triage. Her response isn't going to do anything because neither Caliban nor Deadpool are X-Men right now. But I will use her to also thwart. I'll use her to thwart 1 off of the Age of Apocalypse. We want this to stay as clear as possible. And then we will ready and draw. So we drop to 5. Deadpool's Katana, Kid Omega, Meta Knowledge. There's Children of the Atom. And it ain't over. Okay, so this isn't bad. Definitely usable. There are certainly some cards that I can play. Okay, so now this is going to go up by 1. Apocalypse is going to attack. I'm just going to take the hit. So he's attacking for 2, 3, 4. That is enough to take out Deadpool. So that's going to flip me. And put me at 1 hit point. And then that will put one of these awesome Deadpool tokens, acceleration, Deadpool themed acceleration tokens on the main scheme. I'll just put these over here because we're definitely going to be using them. Alright, now, oh, and actually this is going to go up by 2. I forgot this already. Alright, now we draw our encounter card. Wolf Among Sheep, Treachery. When revealed, the Prelate minion activates against you, otherwise Apocalypse activates against you. So he's going to scheme against me. He's scheming for 1. Just 1. And that's an Assault Gun, which is good. So this is going to go up to 3. Now if it goes up to 8, it pops. And then if it pops, we just remove all threat from it and then go up to Apocalypse 2. Like I said, we don't want to do that, so we're going to want to make sure that this stays clear. Alright, makes me think getting Kid Omega out would be a good idea, but I also need to get Children of the Atom out. I guess I could use Meta Knowledge, but that wasn't really worth blocking. So I think what we can do here is we can get both Kid Omega and Children of the Atom out. Oh, except Kid Omega, his kicker... his kicker doesn't happen. Whoops. If I can't pay for it. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep Children of the Atom in hand. I'm gonna use Deadpool's Katana and It Ain't Over, as much as I would like to play It Ain't Over on the main scheme. I'm just gonna play Kid Omega. And then I'm going to spend a mental resource to deal, or to remove 1 threat from each scheme. So this goes down to 1, this goes down to 1, and this goes down to 2. I know Kid Omega has been like very well talked of within the community, like people say he's broken. I don't know, like I'm not good with all those combinations, like figuring out the best ways to really exploit his abilities. I just play I just play the cards I want to play. And to me he's never seemed all that interesting. But I can definitely see how this could be super helpful. I think I'm gonna have Triage take 1 off the gene pool, and then she's done, she'll go to discard. And since she was taken out by consequential damage, this doesn't fire. The forced response on this doesn't fire, which is after an ally is defeated by anything other than consequential damage, place 3 threat here. So thankfully we don't have to worry about that. I will have Kid Omega, oh I forgot I put out my exhausted tokens. I'll have Kid Omega thwart 2 off the main, so he'll take consequential damage. And then I'll have Caliban, I'll have Caliban attack Apocalypse and take off his tough, so he's no longer tough. I will have Deadpool heal. He heals for 8, so we're going all the way back up to 9. And then we will flip up. I think that will be, that will be my turn. So it's not super exciting. I'm trying to get set up. I'm trying to get my, just the different cards that I kind of need so that I can start making sure that I can actually deal with all of this threat before I really start going after Apocalypse. And also every prelate that comes out, because man, those guys are nasty. Alright, so we readied. Oops. You're exhausted. No more. Okay. So we had Children of the Atom in hand. Now we have Yoo-Hoo, Uncanny X-Force. We drew the other Digging Deep, and the other Children of the Atom. Alright. Well, I guess we're getting out Uncanny X-Force and Children of the Atom this turn. Okay. So Age of Apocalypse is going to go up by 3. Apocalypse is going to attack I'm just going to take the hit. So 2, 3, 4, 5. Holy cow. So that was a lot of damage. And then our encounter card is the Apocalypse Solution. When defeated, discard the top X cards of the encounter deck, where X is the numeral in Apocalypse's printed hit point value. Wow, that actually sounds terrible. And it has 3 threat on it. Alright, so we're going to use Children of the Atom and Digging Deep to get out Uncanny X-Force. And then we're going to use Yoo-Hoo to play Children of the Atom. So now both Caliban and Kid Omega have X-Force, X-Factor, and X-Men traits. So does Deadpool. He's got all 3 of the traits as well. And that means now that these guys are thwarting for 1 extra point. So I'm going to have Kid Omega... Again, I have my exhausted tokens. I'm going to have Kid Omega thwart the Apocalypse Solution, which is going to discard 8 cards from the top of the villain's deck. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wow, so we lost... Looks like we lost... Well, we lost Shadow of the Past, which is good. We lost Gang Up, which is good. Looks like we lost most of the Dark Riders, which I'm not going to complain about. I did shuffle that. I promise. I was going to shuffle it again on camera, and then I totally spaced it. But I did shuffle that. And then Kid Omega will go to the discard because he only has 2 hit points. I think Caliban is going to thwart 2 off the main. I mean, I guess Deadpool could do that. Or no, that only works for allies, so... Oh, and he wouldn't take consequential damage from that. I totally forgot about that because of the Uncanny X-Force. He doesn't take consequential damage for thwarting a side scheme. And that is side scheme. However, Caliban I had him thwart from the main, so he is going to take... oh, why did I put that there? But he is going to take consequential damage, so he's gone. Which is fine. It's good to get him back in the rotation anyway. For Deadpool... Wait, I healed this turn, so... Or no, I did not heal this turn. I took damage this turn. I am going to attack Apocalypse for 2. So we'll be down at 6. And then we're ready and draw. We have Sunspot. Fantomex, there's Fantomex. Mutant Mayhem. Power of Leadership, which is good. And the X-Jet, which I can now play and use because Deadpool is now considered an X-Men because of Children of the Atom. As much as I'd like to get the X-Jet down, I think I'm going to get Fantomex down instead. Alright, so this is going up by 3, so up to 4 on the main. Apocalypse is going to attack. I'm just going to take the hit. 2, 3, 4, 5, so that's going to be enough to pop me back down. And this is going to go up again. So you see what I mean? Like you really have to kind of decide if you're going to take the hits or not. And I'm like we'll see if this ends up coming back to bite me. It may very well, because each one of these that you flip over has extra acceleration icons, so you pretty much have to take care of them and the prelate minions quickly. So like this next time, I think the one on the back of here is 3 threat. The final side scheme in that series is 4 threat, and it has 3 acceleration icons on it. Plus I still have to do 5 damage. So I have to do, it's 5 damage per prelate, which means we're going to see 2 more prelates at least, and I cannot, I have to do a total of 10 damage just to get rid of them. Plus they also have toughness. So if I can get out one of my katanas, that would be great, because the katanas have piercing. But Fantomex would be good. Sunspot would be good as well. And then we definitely want to bring the threat on this down. So that's where Fantomex is going to come into play. It'd be very, very helpful. I think... Man, I wish we hadn't had to discard the chimichanga truck. Let's see. Did I miss something? So we discarded 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we got rid of that. I discarded those. This was his boost. Okay, so we've still got an encounter card to go. Infinite Soldier. The Infinite Soldier has guard, so I can't do any damage to Apocalypse. Well, I can't do attacks to Apocalypse. Thankfully, Gene Pool does not have any threat on it. If it had 3, the minions gain Quick Strike. 6 is Surge, and then 9 is +3 hit points. So we definitely don't want this to get anywhere close to 9. Those +3 hit points can be so bad. But they do have guard, so whenever they come out, we're going to have to take care of them before we can attack Apocalypse. Alright, I am going to heal, so we'll go back up to 9. I can actually choose. I'm not going to do it right now. But he's got an ability on this side where you can discard a card from your hand and then search your deck for a Deadpool event and add it to your hand. A common target for that is going to be Maximum Effort, but another one is his annoying personality one. I forget exactly what it is. I think I've already... No, there's Maximum Effort. Or this card is Fire, that's another one. Nope, I have not. I missed a card in there. Nope. Exhausting Personality, I think, is the name of the card, which allows you to either put one on here and then stun and confuse the villain, like put an acceleration token on the main scheme and then exhaust, or not exhaust, stun and confuse the villain, or you can just choose to draw the however many of these tokens that you have, however many of these acceleration tokens that you have on the main, you can draw that many cards from your deck. So it's a really nice card to have. The later in the game you are, the more of these that are on the main. But again, you kind of have to weigh the pros and cons of it. Well, the power of leadership is going to count as 2. And then I'm going to use Mutant Mayhem as another one, and then Sunspot to play Fantomex. So he comes into play. We search for EA, which I'm pretty sure I already saw. Yep, right there. Alright. I do need to flip up. Alright, so now Uncanny X-Force is turned on. Let's see. I can have him thwart the main, which I'm going to do. So he'll thwart two. He'll thwart 2 off the main. He will take the consequential damage. EVA is going to exhaust. Keep forgetting I have my exhaust tokens to heal Fantomex. So that's nice because that's not a side scheme, it's the main scheme. So the -1 consequential damage is only for thwarting side schemes, unfortunately. And then Kid Omega will thwart, and that'll put him back there. That's fine. I want him in the discard pile because I want his when he enters play effect to happen again. That's all I have. I'm gonna hold on to the X-Jet and see if I can play it next turn, maybe. That would be really nice. I do have to deal with this Infinite Soldier at some point soon. Okay. So we'll ready and draw. So we have the X-Jet, Phoenix, maximum effort is good. Cable, that's nice to see, and Deadpool's Katana. Ooh, I really like his Katana. Alright, this is gonna go up by 3, so it'll be at 5. Not great. Apocalypse is going to attack. I think I'm just gonna take the hit. So he's attacking for 2, just 2. The Infinite Soldier is going to attack. I will take that as well. It's going to put me down to 5. This is where Triage would be really nice because she could heal Deadpool now that I've got Children of the Atom out. But that's okay. This is fine. Alright, so now we've got Culling the Weak. Place 4 threat on Gene Pool. So see what I mean? Like the threat on Gene Pool can go up just like that. So we have to get that taken care of. Alright. Now it's my turn. Cable would actually be awesome because he gets +1 thwart and +1 attack for each acceleration token on the main scheme, to a max of +3 of each. Yeah, he would be really good actually to have out right now because that would make him right now 3, 4. He would be thwarted for 4. So he could take everything off of Gene Pool, or he could take all but 1 off of Age of Apocalypse, which I think is probably the play, because I want to keep this down since it's going to be going up so fast. Man, I would really like to keep maximum effort. I do not think the X-Jet is going to get played, so I'm going to use that. Unfortunately, my Katanas and also Phoenix to play Cable. Decide what I want to do with maximum effort. I do need to start going through these. It's just that's going to go up so fast. Alright, so Cable is going to thwart for 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's down to 1. He's going to take a damage. He's exhausted. Fantomex is going to exhaust and take 2 off the gene pool. He would take, well, he does take a consequential damage, but I'm just going to use EVA to heal it immediately. I think at this point I'm just going to have Deadpool. Oops. Again, exhausted tokens. Have him do 2 damage to the Infinite Soldier. And I'm gonna hold on to maximum effort because I think next turn I do want to take out Heart of the Empire and pretty much immediately want to take out the prelate that is going to come out from that. So we're going to keep maximum effort in hand instead of using it right now. Alright, so we will ready and draw. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh. I guess I could get Mirage out. I mean, she could stun the Infinite Soldier, but I kind of want him gone anyway. We'll see. We'll see if we get another minion this turn. I apologize for the loud sounds that you may hear in the background. They're flying right now. I live next to an Air Force base, fighter base, and they are flying right now, so yeah. If it gets super loud, I'll see if I can turn off, like I'll mute the microphone while it's happening, but yeah, like when I first moved in here, I was like, I don't know how I'm going to deal with this, because when I was looking at the house, it didn't even occur to me. They weren't flying, and it didn't occur to me, oh, that's very loud. But it didn't actually take very long before I didn't even notice, and I only noticed, like when I did finally start noticing, the only reason I did is because it was like I'd be doing something and it would get so loud that I couldn't, like watching TV, I'd have to pause whatever I was watching because I couldn't hear what was going on. But other than that, like you just kind of stop hearing it. I guess it's kind of like with kids, like eventually you stop hearing the screaming. Sometimes. I don't have kids, but I know many people who do have kids, and apparently that's a thing, is that, like, eventually you just stop hearing the noises they make. I don't have kids, so that has never happened for me. Alright, moving on. Right, so this is going to gain 4 threat, so it's going to be back up to 5 again. Apocalypse is gonna attack. I'm at 5 hit points. Blocking is just not useful for me right now, so I'm just gonna take the hit. So he's hitting for 2. And then he gets molecular control. So he gains Retaliate 1 and Stalwart. Alright, so he can't be confused. Wow, and you can't get rid of it either. Once he has it, he has it. That's unfortunate. Alright, so I take 2. So we're down to 3. Oops. Okay, Infinite Soldier is attacking for 2. I could block with Fantomex. He does have 3 hit points, and EVA could just heal him. I do want to bring out Mirage anyway, and she could take the threat off Heart of the Empire. So I think I'm gonna do that. I'll have Fantomex block. He'll take 2 damage. And then, oh yeah, I guess we draw another Infinite Soldier. Alright, so this is still under 3, so he doesn't have Quick Strike, thankfully. I do need to bring that down to 0, just because I don't like it when it's got threat on it. It can really cause problems. Alright, so it's back to my turn. We're going to use EVA to drop the threat on Fantomex down to 1. Cable. Oh, I gotta decide what I'm gonna do. So Mirage is gonna have... I definitely want to bring Mirage out. Alright, so we'll use Genius and Arm to the Teeth to bring out Mirage. Both of these enemies have schemes that are lower than her thwart, which is actually 3 right now. So we can stun one of them. I'm gonna stun this guy. I think we're just gonna take out the Infinite Soldier. He needs to go. Maximum effort isn't going to do me any good until I can heal. So that's a problem. So I think we're going to exhaust Cable, and he's going to thwart for 4 off of this again. So it's back down to 1. I'd like to heal Cable, but I don't have anything to heal him with at the moment, unfortunately. Mirage is going to thwart... I would like to get rid of Heart of the Empire, but then that's going to give me an extra one of these plus a Prelate, which is bad. I'm just not in a place to deal with it at the moment. Deadpool is going to take care of this Infinite Soldier. At least this guy is stunned, so I don't have to deal with him much for the next 2 turns. Because as soon as Apocalypse attacks me this next time, I'm not going to block. I'm going to flip down because I have to heal. So I think Mirage is just going to take 2 off of Gene Pool. Oh, whoop, that stays there. It's permanent. And then, since it was a side scheme and she's technically considered X-Force right now, she doesn't take any consequential damage. So, sadly, that means that she's not going to be able to get back into the deck to be cycled through to use her stun again, which would be really nice when the prelates come back out. But I think that's okay. Yeah, I think that'll be fine. I'm gonna hold like this energy and maximum effort in hand, just because I'm gonna need them. Yeah, cable's not gonna hit the thing either, which is not great. I want these guys back in so I can cycle them again. Alright. So ready and draw. And I'm gonna draw an extra card. So exhausting personality. It would have been really nice to have that before, but I get an extra encounter card because I have to shuffle my discard back into my deck. Yeah, the Jets, they really do get loud. I'm actually kind of surprised that my dog, so I used to have corgis and they were terrified of thunder. The one, I don't know, it's like she developed a fear of thunder. I don't know why. She was fine with it the first few years of her life, but then suddenly she got to the point where she just couldn't, like, thunder scared her. And she would get all shaky and it was terrible. But, like, the jets flying overhead never bothered her. Even right after we moved into the house and, like, we hadn't lived anywhere where that was a thing before, but she was totally fine with it. But then, you know, we'd have like a very rare thunder and lightning storm here, and she would just freak out. She'd shake and she'd get all scared and she'd want to be all like snuggly. It was kind of sad because she was also my explorer. She was my little adventurer. Oh, I miss those dogs. They were so cute. But my dog now, like Hella, it doesn't bother her at all. Thunder doesn't bother her at all. I hope it continues to stay that way. Alright, I am drawing cards. So I got the extra encounter card. And I get to draw 2 more cards. So there's the X-Jet, and this card is Fire. So it looks like I'll be able to get the X-Jet out. This turn. Plus I'll be able to draw some extra cards off of Exhausting Personality, which is not bad. Alright. This is going to go back up to 5 again. Apocalypse is going to attack. We're just going to take the attack. He's attacking for 2, 3. That's just enough to take me out. So we are down to 1 and flip down. The Infinite Soldier is going to scheme for 1. So that'll go up to 6. And then let's see. Then we get our encounter cards. So we have 2. Caught off guard. I am losing a support or upgrade. In this case, a support because I only have supports. Oh, this is not great. So I kind of need Uncanny X-Force. Oh, and this is also going up by 1. So that's going to go up by 5 now every turn. Oh, this is so bad. I don't want to get rid of Children of the Atom, but I do have another Children of the Atom. It's cheap to replace, and I really don't want to get rid of Uncanny X-Force. Yeah, they'll drop Children of the Atom. That's unfortunate. Okay, so I hate Caught Off Guard. And we got another Wolf Among Sheep. Apocalypse is activating against me, so he's gonna scheme for 1, 2, 3. That is gonna pop the Age of Apocalypse, which is kind of unfortunate. Not kind of, it is unfortunate. When the main scheme is completed, remove all threat from it. Flip this card and reveal Apocalypse 2. Alright, so he's got steady and he's tough again. And he's got 9 hit points. And there go the cats. Alright, when the main scheme is completed, remove all threat. So basically it's the same thing, he'll just keep going up. And now he's going to be scheming for 2 and attacking for 2. When he was just scheming for 1 and attacking for 2. Yeah, not super great. And then this still has those on it. Alright. So now it's my turn. Now I can't get the X... Well, I can get the X-Jet out. I'm not going to be able to use it until I can get Children of the Atom back, which is kind of annoying, but... Oh well. So we're going to exhaust and heal back up. So we'll be at 9 hit points. Then I'm going to flip up. I am going to use energy, and this card is fire, to get out X-Jet, even though I can't use it. As soon as I get that Children of the Atom back out again, I will be able to use this. So there is that. Alright, I am going to play Exhausting Personality. I probably, actually, you know what, before I play the X-Jet, I'm gonna play Exhausting Personality, and I will draw 3 cards, since there are 3 tokens now. 1, 2, 3. Alright, plus I've still got my maximum effort in hand, so this is gone. So I got, my katana, which actually might be good to get out. Not might, it would be, because he's tough. But this guy also has guards, so there is that to take into consideration. Sunspot would be good. So after you play Sunspot from your hand, choose a player, deal 1 damage to the villain and each minion engaged with the chosen player for each energy resource used to pay for Sunspot. And I just so happen to have an energy double resource right here. And the X-Jet is actually energy, so I could actually pay for Sunspot. It's not an attack. So I would deal, if I get rid of the tough off of Apocalypse, I would end up dealing 3 damage to him, 3 damage to the Infinite Soldier. Sunspot is X-Force, so he could also thwart. Wow, he could thwart for 2, but that doesn't really matter. There's no threat on any of the schemes. Phoenix isn't going to help me out right now because you choose an X-Men ally, ready that ally, and heal the damage from it. It's not going to do me any good, so... Yeah, and I could have... So I could use her and this card as fire to play Deadpool's Katana. We take a damage, and deal 2 to an enemy with piercing. But that's an attack, so I'd have to get rid of the Infinite Soldier first if I wanted to aim that at Apocalypse. She is going to take damage if she thwarts this because she's no longer X-Force. And I could use EVA to remove the last of the threat from there. I think that's what I'm going to do because we gotta... Oh, there's Fantomex. I think I'm gonna have Cable. Man, I just hate to waste that stunned on the Infinite Soldier. The problem is that he's guard. That does create problems. Well, yeah, I might as well get rid of him. All right, so we're just gonna get rid of this Infinite Soldier. Cable is attacking for 2, 3, 4, 5, so he's gonna take him out, and then that's his last. He'll take a third consequential damage that'll take him out. Mirage. Well, Mirage could take out Heart of the Empire. That way I could use EVA to heal Fantomex again. Mirage will take damage. And that's not terrible. Because I kind of want her to go back. And she only has 2 thwart right now anyway, since she's not X-Force. Let's see. I think we're exhausted from healing. Fantomex is not exhausted. Unfortunately, because she's an X-Men, like, he doesn't get bonuses off of Uncanny X-Force either. So yeah, she will, I guess, take the 1 off Heart of the Empire. The first player reveals a random set-aside prelate minion. Deal each other player an encounter card. Flip this card over. Alright, so let's... back to the dice. Alright, so we've got Rasputin Abyss, the Shadow King, and Mr. Sinister. This time we'll roll a d4. 2. Abyss. Alright, Abyss gets +2 hit points for each face down card attached to him and engages the first player. After Abyss activates against you, attach the top card of your deck to him face down. So we want to get rid of him now, and we are going to get rid of him now. I could... just play Sunspot, which is going to deal 3 damage to him and Apocalypse. We gotta get past the tough. But if I do that, then I don't have to use maximum effort on Abyss, which would be good. Alright, so I'm going to use Phoenix in this card's fire to get out Deadpool's katana. a great place. Okay, we'll put it down here. So he doesn't have guard, so we can attack Apocalypse. No problem. So we're gonna exhaust this. We'll take a damage in order to activate it, and that's gonna pierce off the tough, and that's gonna do 2 damage to him. So that'll take him down to 7. However, it's an attack, and he has retaliate, so that means I'm also gonna go down to 7, which is kind of unfortunate. And then we'll use Energy and X-Jet to play Sunspot. We are playing in from hand, so choose a player, deal 1 damage to the villain and each minion engaged with the chosen player for each energy resource used to pay for Sunspot. We use 3 energy resources, so Abyss is going to take 3 damage, and Apocalypse is going to take 3 damage. Notably, it's not an attack, so Apocalypse, he doesn't retaliate at all, which is good. And then Sunspot will attack and do the last 2 damage on Abyss, which is going to take care of him. Where did I put the last prelate minion? Oh, that's right, I put him off to the side. Alright, so that's 2 prelate minions down. Oh, and this should have 3 threat on it. Now I just have to take 3 threat off the Towering Citadel. And yeah. I think on this next turn I'm going to have actually Mirage jump in the way of the attack. That does mean that we're going to end up with threat on Gene Pool, but I can't keep this can't keep going up this really bad for me, so at the end of the turn I am going to use UVA to heal Fantomex, so he's at full health again. I mean, I guess I could leave him at 1 damage and just take 1 off the... I think I'm going to do that, and that way Fantomex can actually thwart that down next turn. Yeah, I think I'll do that. So this is going to go up by 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's only got 9 hit points, so X is only 9. So if this pops again, he's gonna jump up to Apocalypse 3, which is bad. Alright. So I'm gonna hold on to maximum effort because I'm gonna use that to take out the last prelate that is gonna come out from the last scheme. Okay. So there's that. So we're keeping that. Now we're drawing 1, 2. Oh, there's Children of the Atom again. 3, 4. It Ain't Over would be super nice actually right now. Yeah. I kind of want to get It Ain't Over out as soon as possible. Alright, so 2, 4, 5, 6. So this goes up to 6. Apocalypse is going to attack. I'm going to have Mirage jump in the way. So he's attacking for 2. Just 2. It was nice to see Advance gone. Alright, so there goes Mirage. But because of that, she was defeated by an attack, so this is going to get 3 threat. Okay. However, now that Mirage is gone, both of my allies have X-Force, so Uncanny X-Force is turned back on again. So Apocalypse attacked, she's gone, now we draw an encounter card. Biomorphing, Apocalypse's attacks gain overkill. Alright, so no more blocking with allies, that's not going to work anymore. Which means we have to take him out pretty fast. Hey! Oh my gosh. Stop playing with my computer cord, please. He's gonna pull my computer off of here and then the stream will go dead. And my computer will break. My computer breaking being the worst thing. I can't afford to replace it. Hey! Stop that. He's just looking at me like, whatever. Cats. Okay, so now I have to get rid of this. I want to play Children of the Atom, but I also want to play It Ain't Over. I guess I can play both. And then I have Maximum Effort. So I think Fantomex. Yeah, I think Fantomex is gonna take the 2 off of here, which is gonna give him that. When defeated, we reveal a random set-aside prelate minion, and okay, so. Oh yeah, this just gets set aside, removed from the game. Alright, so let's do the prelates really quick. So we're down to 3 to choose from. We'll use a d6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Shadow King. Alright, after the Shadow King attacks you, choose an ally you control with the highest thwart. Either discard that ally or place threat on the main scheme equal to its thwart. Alright, well he's not going to get the chance to even attack, because we're going to get rid of him real quick. Towering Citadel goes away, the Tyrant's Throne comes into play with 4 threat on it. Okay, we are going to exhaust EVA to heal Fantomex by 1. Or actually, he wouldn't even take, never mind, he wouldn't take the damage from that because that was a side scheme and Uncanny X-Force. I keep forgetting about that. But I will exhaust it to heal him, so that will heal him completely. Sunspot. I could have Sunspot thwart 2 off of here, and then Deadpool can thwart 2 off of here. But I have to get rid of the Shadow King first. So I'm going to do that. We're going to do maximum effort. I'm going to take 5 damage. So that's going to put me down to 2. That's going to take out the Shadow King. Oh crap, he's got toughness. So first. I'm going to use Deadpool's Katana and take 1 damage. That'll do 2 to him. So then I only have to take 3. I took 5. I was at 7. -1, 3. So 4 damage. So I should be at 3 hit points. This is actually a little bit better. Alright, so then that's going to take out Shadow King. So Shadow King is gone. There goes maximum effort. I can't use Yoo-Hoo. I can, however, get It Ain't Over out. So I'm going to use Mutant Mayhem to get It Ain't Over out. Increase the target threat value of attached scheme by 2 for each acceleration token on it. So this is actually going up by 6. So 15. This would have to hit 15 in order for it to pop. It Ain't Over is such a nice card with Deadpool's kit. You kind of need it. And then I'm just going to use Yoo-Hoo to pay for Children of the Atom. And I will have Deadpool just straight up attack Apocalypse for 2. So Apocalypse is down to 2. I didn't have Sunspot do anything, did I? I'm gonna have him actually take 2 off of Gene Pool. I think. Or do I have him take 2 off of Age of Apocalypse? Because this is gonna go up by 6, 7. 7, 12, 13. So that's going to go up to 13. Hey! Ugh. Cats. Oh, that's right, I was going to have him take 2 off of here, wasn't I? I'm not going to worry about that. I think I'm just... Yeah, I'll take the one off Gene Pool. You know what? No, I'm not going to take it off Gene Pool. I'm going to take it off of the main. So that'll put this down to 4. Okay. So then that'll go up to 11. Still not great, but better. Like, I don't want it getting too much closer. Hopefully this will be the turn that I end it. So, and I can't block because he's got overkill. And I'm just going to take the hit anyway because it'll knock me down. Alright, so we got 1, 2, oh, there's my chimichanga truck. 3, 4, 5. Drawing, digging deep again. Alright. Alright, so this is going to go up by 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's going to put it at 11. Alright. Remember, this can go up to 15. We don't want it to go there, though. Apocalypse is going to attack me for 2. 3, actually, with biomorphing. I'm just going to take the hit. Oops, I forgot to unexhaust everything. Alright, so he's attacking for 3, 4, 5. That is definitely enough to drop me to 1. And flip me down, and now this gets flipped up. So now we're at, this goes up just from the tokens on it by 4 every single turn. Man, I hope that we can get this. Because if we can get the threat off of this before we attack Apocalypse again, he will be done. So, hopefully, yeah. Right, yep, that galloping sound that you heard was my very fat cat Aries running across the room. Alright, so he is... Let's see, he already attacked. I got flipped. Encounter card. Infinite Soldier. Of course, he's got guard. Oh, and actually Gene Pool. No, it was a 2, that's right. Okay, so thankfully, well, he doesn't have Quick Strike, which wouldn't have mattered anyway because I'm not in that form. Alright, so I've got to get rid of him. An M would be good to get out. Let's see. So he thwarts for 2, he thwarts for 2 as well. Neither of them will take consequential damage by taking the threat off of the tyrant's throne, which is good. So I'm going to use Mutant Mayhem and Digging Deep to get out my chimichanga truck. Put that down here. We're going to exhaust him. We're going to heal all the way back up to 9. Then I'm actually going to drop M. And we're going to use his Break the Fourth Wall to search for maximum effort. Or do I want to try? No, because I think I used it already, actually. Yeah. Unfortunately, this only searches the deck, not the discard pile. Otherwise, Exhausting Personality might have been a fun one to draw, just to see what cards I drew off of it. See if I could draw into a maximum effort, but I'm not going to do that, because I think that was like... Yeah, that was like the second card in my discard pile, so unfortunately we wouldn't be able to pick it up with that. Oh, we exhausted to heal. We're going to exhaust the Chimichanga Truck to ready him after healing. So then we'll flip up. So now Sunspot and Fantomex are both going to thwart off of the Tyrant's Throne. Oh, I forgot. We have one more Prelate. So that's 2. And we got No Longer Worthy, which gets attached to Apocalypse. Oh, he heals 5 damage as well. I forgot about that. So he's back up to 7. So now we have to take care of 15 hit points of damage. Now we can do it. Alright, so we'll just use a D4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2. So it's Mr. Sinister. He has Retaliate 1, Toughness, Villainous, and Victory 3. Not an issue, because we can take care of him right now. So I'm not too worried about that. I am, however, worried about the threat here. That's kind of an issue. That's going to pop us to Apocalypse 3. I did not plan this out very well. Alright, so we are going to use Maximum Effort. And we're going to take 5 damage because... let's see. So, Apocalypse can't take damage while a Prelate minion is in play, and so we got to get rid of him. So I'm going to do 5. I'll take 5 damage off of Maximum Effort, and that's going to take care of Mr. Sinister. So he's gone. No more Prelates in play. he has retaliate. I can't attack him because I've got this infinite soldier as well. Alright, so I'm gonna use Deadpool's katana. So I'll take a damage. That's gonna do 2 to the infinite soldier, and then I'll exhaust Deadpool and we'll just take out the infinite soldier and he's gone. Now we just have to be able to take out Apocalypse. And he's gonna jump up to Apocalypse 3 this next turn. Oof. Alright. Well, at least we will be able to get rid of him. He's gonna die this next turn. Don't really need Caliban, so I'm gonna drop him. And we will draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Montage. Wow, this is not a great hand. Alright, yeah, I guess I could play this card as fire. I could go grab this card as fire. Alright, so this is just, wait, is it gonna pop? Yeah, because that goes 15, it's at 11, this is gonna go up by 5. Alright, yeah, so this pops, so all of this gets taken off. And then Apocalypse goes up to Apocalypse 3. And he has 10 hit points. So, not super great, but, and then he's also tough again, which is kind of unfortunate. He's gonna attack for 3, I'm just gonna take the hit. So the boost for this is to give the Prelate minion a tough status card, otherwise give Apocalypse a tough status card. Well, Apocalypse already has tough, so that just ends up whiffing. But he does hit me for 3, which is going to be enough to pop that. So I'm back down to 1 hit point. Then we draw an encounter card. 3, actually, he hit me for 3, 4. Yeah, he hit me for 4. I forgot about that. Freaking infinite soldiers. Okay. Well, I am going to discard a card from hand to go look for. I don't think let's see, I forget exactly how many copies of Maximum Effort are in this deck. Because I'm going to need a Maximum Effort. So I'm just going to discard Triage. And the goal is to grab a Maximum Effort, which I do not have. So that's unfortunate. I could grab this card as fire. I think I'm going to have to grab this card as fire. Okay. So I can't heal this turn, otherwise this card as fire is not going to work. I guess I could instead discard, you know what, I'm going to do this instead. I'm going to discard Digging Deep, and I'll keep Triage in hand, and I have a very specific reason for that. Alright, so I'm not healing. I will stay at 1 hit point and I'm going to flip up. Then I am going to play, I'm going to use Montage, which it's Deadpool's, it's one of his signature cards. It's a resource. It generates 1 additional wild resource for each acceleration token on the main scheme to a maximum of 3 additional resources. So this is actually 4 right now. I only need 3 to play this card as fire, which is fine. So that will deal X damage to an enemy. X is the amount of damage you have sustained. I have sustained... Oh, I have like a cat here in my car. I hate that. Drives me nuts. Okay. So that's going to deal 8 damage. Or I can't play that just yet. Duh. Okay. I gotta do this in order. Because the stupid Infinite Soldier too. So I could have Sunspot attack the Infinite Soldier. That's going to do 2 damage there. EVA could then ping the last damage on him. But why would I do that? Alright, so we're going to have Sunspot do 2 damage to the Infinite Soldier. That's going to take out Sunspot. So Sunspot's gone. I will then have Fantomex attack and deal a damage to the Infinite Soldier. So we just get rid of that, and Fantomex will take a damage. EVA is going to ping Tough off of Apocalypse. Because that's not an attack, EVA can't take Retaliate, so that's good. I'm then going to use Genius to play Triage. Remember, because of Children of the Atom, Deadpool is technically an X-Men now. So Triage, when Triage enters play, heal 2 damage from an X-Men character. So Deadpool will go back up to 3 hit points. Okay. So we have that. Now, I'm going to use Deadpool's Katana, and then I'll take it off in just a second, but I lose a hit point in order to use Deadpool's Katana to do 2 damage to Apocalypse. So he's down to 8. This counts as an attack, so I'll actually end up taking the 1 damage just from using it and a retaliate damage, so that's going to put me down to 1 hit point again. Now I can use Montage to pay for this card as fire. And now at this point, it's going to deal 8 damage to Apocalypse, which is exactly what I need in order to take out Apocalypse. And then I just sit at 1 hit point at the end. And the last card that I had in hand was another Katana. I could have used Triage to do like an extra damage to him, or take 2 threat off of Gene Pool. And I guess we can say I did that because technically he counts as X-Force because, again, Children of the Atom. But anyway, yeah, so his other katana, Deadpool's other katana, is the only thing I had left in my hand. So I can't do any overkill damage. I was just able to do enough damage to take out Apocalypse. This was kind of fun. I actually really enjoyed Fantomex. I think he's a really interesting card, and one that I would like to play around with a little bit more. Like, I would love to do a full-on Voltron build for Fantomex. One of my main issues with Voltron builds, though, is that it feels like... So, you choose the hero that you're playing with because you want to play as that hero, right? If you're pouring all of this effort and all of the resources to Voltron an ally, it kind of feels like you're not really playing the hero anymore. You're playing the ally instead. So that's kind of one of the things that I've had a hard time dealing with when it comes to like decks that have so many allies and you're just throwing allies in and out of the game. It feels like you're concentrated more on the allies than you are on your actual hero, which is, I think, part of the reason that I've kind of gotten away from playing any really ally-heavy decks. If I choose the hero, I kind of want to play the hero. But I think, like, with this particular deck, I was able to do that for the most part. Like, there's no way that this deck would have survived an expert matchup with Apocalypse, I think. At least not the way that I was playing it. And I think there are probably some better card choices that could have gone in to make the deck a little bit more powerful. But overall, like, it was a lot of fun. You know, we actually got to see Fantomex sitting out for pretty much the whole game and, you know, dealing with threat and actually being useful. I mean, he defended Deadpool from an attack at least once. So, you know, normally, and granted it was a minion that attacked, so we knew he was going to survive, but, you know, typically when you throw a minion in front of an attack, you're not expecting them to survive. You don't generally throw them in front of attacks because you're wanting to use their abilities for something else, or, you know, you want to use them to thwart or attack. But, you know, with the fact that Fantomex has EVA to sit there and heal him the whole time, that makes that less of an issue. So if you can actually kind of, you know, build him up and keep him healed for most of the game, he could actually be a pretty decent blocker, like, as you play. So I don't know, I'd like to actually play some more with Fantomex and EVA and kind of see how that goes. I really like Uncanny X-Force. It's so helpful, and the -1 consequential damage after thwarting a side scheme is just, like, you can build a deck that's basically just focused around X-Force or, you know, any characters that you can turn into X-Force, and they're just going to sit there and thwart the entire game, and it's not going to matter how much or how little they thwart. Like, you could way over thwart something with one of your allies and not feel too bad about it because they're not going to take any consequential damage for it anyway, as long as they're thwarting a side scheme. It's especially great in these scenarios that have side schemes that stay out or consistently keep coming out. So, like, with these permanent side schemes. Or, you know, if somebody's playing Phoenix, somebody at your table is playing Phoenix, and they end up getting, they end up drawing Shadows of the Past, because then that side scheme comes out and it's staying out for the rest of the game. And if it ever hits, I think it's 10, you lose. Just the entire table loses. She's got it, man. I know some people say that it's not that bad, like her minion, her Nemesis set isn't that bad, but I'm definitely not one of those people. It's a pretty bad Nemesis set when it comes out. Like, unless you've got somebody all over taking care of threat, you can lose the game really quickly to her side scheme. I forget exactly what it's called, but it's bad because once it comes out, it's just out forever. You can't thwart it down to 0 and then get rid of it. It becomes a permanent. It's just in play for the rest of the game. So, not super great. But anyway, yeah, that was so that was my Deadpool leadership deck. I don't have a name for this one. It's not really inspired by anything. It was just kind of I wanted to see Deadpool in leadership, and so I did. At some point, I would really like to do a Deadpool, probably leadership deck, kind of semi-inspired by the beginning of the Deadpool and Wolverine movie, where Deadpool is trying to become an Avenger. It could be like a what if deck, like what if Deadpool did become an Avenger, and then just his deck is filled with Avengers. I thought that would be kind of funny. Though I would need to probably two-hand that one with somebody who is an Avenger so that they could give him the Avenger trait. That might actually be kind of fun. I don't know. We'll see about playing two-handed on stream. I'm not sure how well that'll work. I have played two-handed, but on stream it's a little bit different. Anyway, as far as next week goes, I am going to be getting away from mutants next week. I haven't intended to spend the last 3 weeks, I think it's been, on just mutants. It's just that those were the heroes that I was like, oh, I'll play those heroes. I kind of feel like playing those heroes. So next week I'm going to be playing a Falcon deck. I'm not quite sure what aspect yet. Initially I was thinking Justice, but I kind of want to play against Zola, and I don't know that a Justice deck is the best thing to take up against Zola. That just seems like it might be a bad idea. Because I'm trying to be a little thematic. I like theme. I really like playing games that are thematic. Which is why I haven't really played any strength and diversity decks. I don't know why it just bothers me when I put together a deck and none of the traits match for the characters. But that being said, I don't know, maybe... another thematic matchup with Falcon would be Crossbones. I could definitely do a Crossbones matchup with Falcon. We'll see. But I definitely do want to play Falcon because he's one... when Winter Soldier and Falcon came out at the same time, and I fully admit, I think I played Falcon once or twice, and then I was completely focused on Winter Soldier. I was super excited for Winter Soldier. I thought Falcon looked really cool, but Winter Soldier, man, I was super excited about Winter Soldier, and have been ever since they came out. Winter Soldier, I'm a Winter Soldier stan. I don't know a whole ton about the character as far as the comics go. I really liked him in the movies. And just the hero in the game is super fun to play. He's definitely probably in my top 5 as far as heroes go within the game to play, because I have so much fun playing him. I built an entire Justice deck for him that was actually... it ended up as kind of an homage to the Taken movies, so yeah, it's kind of a fun, based around the whole spy, basically just the movies Taken, the 3 Taken movies. It's based around that, so all the names of the cards kind of match with stuff that happened in the movie, or the general idea of them kind of match up with what was happening in the movie. So, yeah, I've been playing a lot. I played a lot of Winter Soldier, not so much Falcon. And Falcon's one of those ones that I really wanted to get back to because I thought he did look really interesting. I just got super sidetracked because of Winter Soldier. And then, ever since then, yeah, I've been kind of going back and playing other heroes that I really like. Like, Nightcrawler's one of my favorite heroes, just in general. Growing up, I didn't really read the Marvel comics all that much. I didn't read any of the DC comics. I did read some X-Men comics. Those were like the only comics that I really got into. And to be honest, I couldn't even tell you the storylines. It was during the 90s. I loved the X-Men cartoon. I don't remember how much Nightcrawler was in that. I don't remember how much he was in the comics that I read. I just know that him and Beast became, like, they were two of my favorite characters just in comics. And so, I don't know if it's because they're blue, and blue is my favorite color, but, yeah, they were two of the characters that I always really liked. And so, with Nightcrawler, the fact that they were able to get him in the game, and apparently that was like a really last minute thing. Initially, I guess, I think it was Caleb. He was the original lead designer of the game. He's no longer working on Marvel Champions. He's moved on to something else. But I think it was Caleb who had said in an interview that initially Nightcrawler was not, like, Marvel was like, no, you can't use Nightcrawler. And then something changed and they were like, okay, yeah, you can use Nightcrawler. And by that point, they had actually already had the roster for all of the mutants finalized. And so they had to go through and they had to take somebody out. I think they said it was Emma Frost that he replaced. I know nothing about Emma Frost. I know that she's appeared as both a minion and an ally in the game. But as far as who she is as a character, I don't really know. But I'm super happy. I know a lot of other people aren't too happy about that, but I'm super happy that they were able to get Nightcrawler into the game. I think the design for him actually came out really well done. I know a lot of people don't particularly like Nightcrawler and think he's weak, but there's a way that you have to play Nightcrawler, and he's just a ton of fun to play. So I've been kind of playing a lot with him, between him and Winter Soldier, and then I always end up going back to Captain America, because Cap, he's like OG. He wasn't in the core box, but he was one of the first hero packs released after the core box came out. And he's always been one of my favorite characters, just hands down anyway. Even never having read his comics, it's like, you know who Captain America is. He's that big of, like, a cultural icon in the US, and so I've always just really liked Captain America as a character. And, yeah, so I always go back to Cap, because in the game he's fun to play. He's very straightforward, but, yeah, still a lot of fun to play around with. I did play through a Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. campaign. It was with Captain America and Winter Soldier, and that was pretty fun. But yeah, so that's all a very long-winded and roundabout way to say that next week, look for a Falcon game, either against Crossbones or Zola. One of those two, most likely. Not sure what aspect yet. I'm still leaning towards Justice, but if not, possibly Leadership. maybe leaning into the whole aerial thing. We'll see. But yeah, until then, I hope you guys have a great week and, well, weekend as well. And yeah, I guess I'll see you guys next week.